Hello everybody, and today we're going to do 7-4 solved by elimination multiplication. Again, I'm just going to go over the other systems the other techniques that we use to solve system of equations. Again, the first one was graphing. So remember, the graph is always in the form of y equals mx plus b. Okay, in this case, my m is 1 over 1, or just 1. And my b is -1. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that line, and it should look something like this. And I'll try to draw the best line that I can here. There you go. My other line is 3 is my y-intercept, 1, 2, 3. And my slope is -1 over 3, -1, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Great. So let's see if I can make this line. There you go. They intersect. They intersect at a point. That was the goal here. And that point that they intersect is going to be 1, 2, 3. So 3, 2. Okay, that is the solution to the system. That means if I plug them both in, 3 for my x and 2 for my y, I'll get the same answer at the exact same time. Now you could also solve this by substitution because they're both solved for y. I think graphing would be easier here on this one because the numbers are relatively small, but I'm just going to show you real quick that you can also solve this by substitution. And since y equals both of these, I'm just going to go ahead and set them equal to each other. First thing I want to do is I want to deal with the less amount of fractions as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything by 3. And what this will do is it'll get rid of this fraction for me. And remember, I'm going to distribute my 3 here, distribute my 3 there. I'm going to get 3x minus 3 equals -x plus 9. Okay, then I'm going to get my x's to one side here. 4x minus 3 equals 9. Get my numbers to the other side. X equals 3. Voila, and that matches there. Now I need to take this 3 and go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in right there to get my y. And I'm going to get y equals 3 minus 1, which y equals 2. So again, that matches there. Multiple different ways to do it. Well, today we're going to solve by elimination using multiplication. And let's just go back and look at... we're not going to go back. We're just going to look at the problem here, and we're going to talk about what we've been doing and then how this one is a little different, but mostly the same. So elimination, remember, it's best to use this if the equation is in standard form, and this is standard form. That's what it looks like. And you remember you want to kind of arrange these by stacking them on top of each other here. So solve by elimination, what we did last time is they kind of eliminated on their own. The thing that we might have had to do was multiply by a -1. But today, and I'll just show you this example here, when I go to eliminate these things, they're not going to eliminate right away. And I can't just multiply it by -1. I'm going to have to do some other stuff here, okay? So again, I'm not really that much closer to solving this. So I am going to show you a technique which is solved by elimination using multiplication, okay? And I'll show you how you do this here. Okay, you kind of start the problem off the same way, and again, you're just going to add them. But what you need to do is you need them to eliminate. So you need to multiply, in this case, one equation by a number to get them to eliminate. And I have many different, things I can do here, but I'm going to go ahead and just to start with my y's. Now, I could have done my x's, but y's are going to be easier in this case because to get this to eliminate, all I need to do is multiply the bottom by 3. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite this whole setup, okay? So when I rewrite this whole setup, I'm going to be, the top equation is not going to change because I didn't multiply that one, which we here in a little bit we'll multiply both of them at the same time, but we're not there yet. And then this one I have to multiply every one of these numbers by 3. So I'm going to get 9x here, and then minus 6y equals negative 12. Now I'm going to add them straight down, and if you did this step right, you should have one of the variables eliminate. So then I'm just going to come down here. This is negative 8. I'm going to bring down my x, which looks like it's going to be positive 4. Divide by my 4, divide by my 4. X equals negative 2. Again, I'm not done. I need to go back and substitute that negative 2 into one of these equations here. I'm going to go ahead and choose the top one. So I'm going to have negative 5 times negative 2 plus 6y equals 4. And this will turn into a two-step equation eventually. Subtract my 10, 6y equals negative 6. Divide by my 6, divide by my 6, y equals negative 1. And there you go. That is how you solve by elimination using multiplication. Okay? It's actually harder to recognize that when you need to multiply just one equation. The next ones I'm going to do, I'm going to actually multiply both equations. And this strategy is actually easier to do because it involves less mental math. Whereas this one, I had to know that to eliminate these, I could just multiply the bottom by 3. Where now I'm going to show you kind of a technique where you just kind of more plug and chug. It's very similar. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You'll get the right answer. But not all the time can you do it like, just multiply it 1. And we'll look at it right now. We'll look at one right now. That's a little bit trickier here. So, all right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do negative 7x plus 2y equals negative 15. Okay, here we got 3x plus 7y equals negative 25. Now, what you're going to notice here is that when I go to add these again, they're not going to eliminate. But now I can't just multiply one of these numbers or one of these equations to get it to eliminate. So in this case, what I do is I pick which one I want to eliminate. Do I want to eliminate the x's first or the y's first? Well, in this case, I'm going to choose the x's because the signs are already opposite, so I don't have to multiply by a negative here. On the next one, I'll show you about multiplying by a negative and all that stuff. But on this one, I'm going to get rid of the x's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the bottom number. The bottom number is 3. That means I'm going to multiply the top by 3. The top number is 7. That means I'm going to multiply the bottom by 7. When I do this, and I'm going to rewrite the whole thing here, I'm going to make sure I multiply everything by 3. So I'm going to get negative 21x plus 6y equals negative 45. Okay, and then I'm going to do 7 now. Okay, and I'm just going to do this, and it's going to be 21x. 7 times 7 is 49 equals, and then we're going to do 7 times 25, which is 175, and it is negative. Okay, now I'm just going to add them straight down, and once you do this step, you know you've done it right if one of your variables eliminates, and that is a 9, by the way. And here I'm going to get 55y equals, and then we're going to do 45 and 175. They're both negative, which is negative 220 here. Divide by 55. Divide by 55. You're going to get y equals negative 4. Now, I'm going to go back to one of my original equations and go ahead and put that -4 in. And I think the top one might be the easier one, so we'll just do that. So it's going to be -7x plus 2 times -4 minus 15. -7x minus 8 equals -15 plus 8 plus 8. -7x equals -7. X equals -1. Sorry, not -1. So my final answer is 1 comma -4. All right. And so again, this one is actually easier than just multiplying 1 because it involves less thinking. Hey, I just pick a variable, I multiply the top by the bottom and the bottom by the top, and they'll automatically eliminate here. Okay, so I'm going to do another one. This last one, I'm going to choose the harder one to do so I can show you about multiplying by a negative. So let's go ahead and do that. This will be the last one. And here we go. Here's the third one. -5x plus 2y equals 18. And you got 4x plus 7y equals -23. Great. Now, I could choose the -5 and 4 to do this with, but I'm going to make this one a little bit harder. That is the one you should choose. But let's just try to get rid of our y's in this case because they're both positive, and I want to show you multiplying by negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top number, I'm going to divide, or the top equation, to multiply it by the bottom y. And then this one, I'm going to multiply it by a -2. You're probably asking yourself, why a -2, not just 2? Well, both of these are positive, so I need to actually get the sign to change. So that's why I'm doing it. There you go. Now I'm going to rewrite this whole equation. I'm going to get -35x plus 14y equals 7 times 18, which is 126. And then I'm going to do the bottom, which is going to be -8x, and this should be -14y equals, and then we're going to have 23 times 2, which is just 46. So well, it's going to be positive 46 because they're both negatives, right? All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just add them straight down. 35 plus 8, or 35 and 8 here is going to be -43x. Again, if you did this step right, your y should go away. I got 126 plus 46, which is 172. Divide by my -43, divide by my -43. I'm going to have x equals a -4. Now again, you're just going to go ahead and plug in this -4 into any one of these. I'm going to go ahead and use the top one. Why not? So I'm going to have -5 times -4, and then I'm going to have plus 2y equals positive 18. That's going to be 20 plus 2y equals 18. That's going to be 2y equals -2, y equals -1. So there you have it. This is -4 comma -1. That is my solution. This is solving by multiplication, solving by elimination and with multiplication. Have a good day and good luck.